Well, we've been at it all morning today.
Do is I glue on oversized doll eyes that I buy from a craft store. That come out really good.
Hey there, everybody. This is Steve McFarland, the Old Kinetic Outdoorsman, coming to you on December 18th, 2023. Connecticut bow season is still rolling along. We'll actually be rolling on till the end of December. And then Fairfield County, or Zone 11 here, you actually have a January season, which you can actually buy your permits for next year and actually hunt through the month of January, which I definitely intend to do. So the reason I'm actually making this video is I want to give a quick review of the Deepower 3-blade, 100 grain, 1 1/4 inch cut broadheads. These were reviewed by John Lusk probably about a year ago. They're actually on Amazon for a 4-pack for $22 and change. So super inexpensive, but super high quality. He gave them an excellent rating. And I wanted to try them out last year and I just never got around to it. My typical setup that I'm hunting with is a 450 grain arrow or 440 grain arrow, something like that, with a single bevel broadhead. Or I've actually used the Magnus Razor's 2 blades as well. But I like something that's got some good penetration ability. I actually started off using the Grizzlies 2-blade 150 grain, which I hand sharpened, stropped, and they were basically razor sharp. And the reason I did that is because for a number of years I drank the Kool-Aid and went to the expandable broadheads. I started off with rockets back in the early 1900s, like 1999, 2001, something like that. And I shot a number of deer with that. Never got full penetration, never. You know, it's a great turkey head, but for deer, I've always actually recovered the deer. It's just that they never fully penetrated the deer. I actually went to Schwacker's, same thing. Number of shots, never had full penetration, including one that was like a 15-yard broadside shot on a small 6-pointer, the weight maybe 150 pounds. And even though the arrow went right up to the fletching, it never penetrated fully, and that's really the change that when I looked at that, I said, I got to change over. So I went back to my fixed blade broadheads, was shooting 3 blades, muzzies I shot for a while. I shot some wasps, which were awesome. And then I got into the 2-blade single bevels probably about 5 years ago or so. And that's what I've been shooting recently. But anyway, I wanted to try these out just because of the high rating, and I like the 3-blade broadhead. I like the concept. For a number of years back in the olden days, I should say, I shot, and I still have them, I shot snuffers, the 3-blade hand sharpened between 135 and 150 grain snuffers. Always had full penetration. This is of course using aluminum arrows, which are 500 plus grains. So they basically shot right through with no problem. Right through, right through rib bones, right through, didn't go through shoulders, but right through most deer, no problem. So wanted to go back, try the 3 blades out. So I ended up buying a package of these about a year ago and didn't use them, and I just decided to throw a set of arrows on my quiver for a quick couple-day hunt and see if I could actually shoot a doe with them. Well, lo and behold, I was walking into my tree stand, put my bow down next to the stand, went over to make a mock scrape about 20 yards, looked up, and there was a beautiful buck about 30 yards from my stand, bedded, just watching me. So I don't know if you ever came across a deer bedded before, but if you look at them directly, they'll get up and run. So I didn't look at it directly. I kind of just looked at it out of the side of my eye, went back to my tree stand, came back to the same spot, edged a little closer, pretended I was making a mock scrape, ended up shooting this deer at about 25 yards. The problem is the anatomy of a deer changes drastically when they're bedded. His head was to my left, his tail was to my right, kind of like in a curled position, that typical as deer bed. And I aimed right where I thought I was going to get a low lung shot right over right in the vital V area. Ended up hitting the major leg bone on his left front leg. And that's where the fun started. But the performance of the broadhead, the Deepower broadhead, was unbelievable for a 4-pack of $22. And these are basically equivalent to the Muzzy turbos, if you ever shot a turbo. Less than, they don't have the little screw holding the retaining the bleed. So they're actually 2 retaining spots, front and back. You basically screw them to your house and that's it. But anyways, this broadhead is this total steel ferrule. It's a short broadhead, 1 1/4 inch cut. This broadhead and the arrow system that I'm shooting, I want to just kind of tell you with these arrows. These are Cabela SST 2300s. They haven't been made for probably 30 years. I still have a bunch of these, and I also have the 2400s, which are the big brothers of these. They are only .230 outside diameter. They are the best penetrating arrow and probably one of the toughest arrows I've ever shot in my life. I've been shooting now for, like I said, for 30 years. They have aluminum outsert, which you can see right there, and the actual nocks slip over the back. These actually have 3 blazer vanes at a 6 degree helical, but these things will outpenetrate anything. I don't care what you're shooting at, they will outpenetrate anything. So this arrow hit broke the leg bone. I literally smashed the front leg bone, which was over 1 inch in diameter. I will show you pictures of everything. It sheared one blade off, damaged the other blade. This third blade is actually very sharp still, and only nicked a little bit. So obviously that didn't impact the bone on that one side, but literally destroyed this guy's front leg to the point where he couldn't even run. I ended up walking up on him later on after about 100 yards, whatever. I ended up finishing him with, of all things, a single bevel broadhead, 125 grain alien archery broadhead, which penetrated hard quartering away shot because he was trying to get away in somebody's backyard, and I hunt in old suburban areas. It penetrated the entire length of the arrow right up to the nock, entered the last rib, so basically I got stomach, liver, chopped the top of the heart right off with the alien broadhead. So between these two broadheads, they did some awesome work. But I want to just give a shout out to Deepower because these things were outstanding. I will definitely use them again. I bought another 4-pack to use, and I want to actually rebuild this one. I don't have replacement blades. But even after all that, I pulled the outsert off this arrow, pulling the arrow out of the guy's shoulder. And as you can see, and maybe you can't see, I'll just put it up here a little bit. It spins perfectly true. No wobble whatsoever. One of the toughest broadheads I've ever seen. I would say it's basically equivalent to the Boss broadheads that I used to use, religiously, and it's got a higher cut for it. It's got a 1 1/4 inch cut, so awesome cut. But again, try them. I think you'll like them. They flew beautiful. I always test shoot my broadheads and my field points together to make sure everything's working properly. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting.